The interactions between Charles or Kim speaking, that was just the tape rolling, and Steve Albini didn't tell us, but just put it in with the mixes. And I don't know, it worked. It made it different. It made it a little more personal, I think, in some way, but that was something, I think, all Albini, just throwing it in there and surprising us.
I was coming up with ideas for them on the spot. On reflection, in the end, I feel like some of those ideas are kind of intrusive. Things like, while the band was like doing takes, the guide vocal microphones that Charles and Kim had, those were being recorded because their banter, their interaction was charming. So I just set up a 1/4-inch machine and started recording their talkback mics. And those little conversational snippets ended up being edited into the record. And that was another bright idea of mine that they acquiesced to. And again, I felt weird about it at the time, but it also, in the end, it seemed to validate itself.
The banter between Charles and Kim on this album, it's very unique. I don't think I've heard of a band ever doing that. But that's, he always had a DAT machine, digital audio tape, this thing that just kept going in the background. You know, those cassettes are cheap, so it just records. And yeah, he put that in. I thought it was funny, you know. And sometimes you can't get the reference because he's talking to a microphone. There's not really a dialogue per se. You're just hearing one side of the story. So that's kind of surreal.
I think it sounded cool. It was kind of interesting. I think that idea, I don't think anyone complained, or there wasn't any, I don't think there was any discussion on it. It was just, yeah, this is pretty neat. And plus, again, you know, we're a baby band with a producer, and it was, you know what you're doing.
Over time, like, those little conversational snippets started to weigh on me. Like, I felt like the band were constantly having to answer for some stupid gimmick that I had hung on their record. And I think it shows a lot of grace on their part that they don't hate me intensely for it. Estaba pensando sobre brillando con mi sister New Jersey. Ella me dijo que es una vida buena allá. Bien rica, bien chévere.
I know Vamos was done on Come on Pilgrim, and then we did it again for Surfer Rosa. I think a few songs were carried over for Surfer Rosa. Vamos, I think, along with Nimrod's Son and Ed Is Dead, I think those three were kind of the core songs that we played around Boston a lot, that were fun to play, and I think they represented the Pixies a lot as far as that music. I think that was very definitive for what we were.
Yeah, Ivo wanted to re-record it. That's a weird one to re-record. Perhaps maybe he saw us live and, you know, wanted to get that feel of the live thing. Yeah, Vamos, those quick little slidey things. It's fun. It was fun to do, you know. My fingers have gone through some burn marks at times. If I don't do it properly, I get a burn mark on it. And it's pretty permanent. Yeah, that's the song that gives me the calluses.
We'll keep well bred, we'll stay well fed, we'll have all songs, they will be all well. Their friends will say, your dad is rich, your mom was a pretty thing. That little Maria, she's red all day.
On the song Vamos, for example, he did a solo that was conventionally a bunch of quick slurred notes, and they'd already released that song, and I suggested that they do an extended version of it where the solo could be extrapolated on, and we could do a weirder and more perverse version of the solo. So when they got to the solo section of the song, they just extended that by many iterations, and Joey did many extemporaneous variations on his playing style, where he was like making noises and chirpy sounds and various effects on his guitar. And then on playback, they made a little menu of the parts that they liked the best, and we edited the solo together.
So we spliced a lot of things up, made weird noises. I threw tennis balls at the guitar, made scraping sounds, anything. I was just trying not to make it sound like a guitar. It's very random. I don't know what I do. It just, whatever it is an anti-guitar solo. That was Kim's gold top guitar. And then she wanted it back. I think she was getting very concerned that I was going to ruin it on Vamos, because that solo on Vamos, I could kind of go shithouse on. And rightfully so. I have a special guitar for Vamos that I could kind of ruin, not ruin. I don't really ruin them, but they're going to get physically abused.
When Joe plays his solo during Vamos, it's fun because I think it's entertaining for us. If Joe feels like he's going to have fun that night, it's entertainment. You just sit there and just watch. Yeah, I'm trying not to watch, but I'll be watching what he's doing. And what's interesting about it is, Vamos it's for, depending on Joe's solo, it could be 5 minutes long. That's the song. And when he's doing that, I'm just doing this. And I've had so many people look at me, even the band, like, it must be killing you. You're you got to keep doing that. But the thing is, Vamos is one of the most easy songs to play, because even though it's like this, I can't explain it. It's just like a halftime. I could just keep going all day with that. And so it's very easy to play Vamos. And it's probably one of my favorite songs to play.
I think I put too much pressure on myself to do that. I put too much pressure into it. And right now I'm trying to find something else that I could do the guitar that I haven't done. I used to put it on a guitar stand, so it would be truly a guitar solo. And I tell the lighting guy, don't even light me, just light the guitar, and I could make it feedback, play with the modulation, tremolo, my wah, and you can do a whole slew of things with that thing, and it's a guitar solo.
The concluding part of the solo was done as a tape collage where he literally just made random sounds with his guitar on 1/4-inch tape. And we did another little editorial listen. And I remember Kim having a stenographer's pad that had nicknames for each of the sounds and the order in which she thought they should appear. Like, this one should be a backwards zip, and then the two piddly piddlies, and then the ding dong, and then the final kablam, that sort of thing. And so then that tape collage was assembled, or it wasn't a collage, it was sort of a sequence, was assembled, and then that was played onto the master as the concluding bit of the solo. So the bulk of the solo is Joey playing his guitar. There's a bit at the end, which is Joey playing his guitar onto 1/4-inch tape, which was then assembled into a collage and burned onto the tape in lieu of a live performance.
When we redid Vamos, we did the whole song, and then we had to, I forget what we were doing, an edit or something, but he had erased the entire end of Vamos while we were in the studio. So it was going up to a point where Joe's solo was, and then it just disappeared. It was gone. So we had to, I think we played it again, or he found another old mix or something like that because the other one was missing, and we spliced them together. So we spliced that part which was missing to that. So if you listen intently to the Surfer Rosa Vamos, and you're sitting there and you listen, you're going to hear at one point the frequency goes up. It's like, and that's where the edit is. And it's just the end of the song. But it's just an interesting Pixies thing that happened in the studio.
So there were 2 takes of the song. There was one take that was the proper take, and then there was a take that was just them reiterating the solo vamp for Joey to solo over. So the final master was a multi-track edit, which was the bulk of the song from the original take, then the solo section, which was spliced in. There's one kind of interesting thing. If you listen carefully to the solo section, the song is in, I want to say the song is in 4/4, but because of the way that the edit worked out with the little extemporaneous noises that Joey was doing, there's one measure in the middle which is in 6 beats instead of 4, and that sort of inverts the rhythm that David was playing. So like the rhythm is going along normally, and then there's this one bar that has 2 extra beats in it, then the rhythm is inverted from there until the end of the song. And then that's just a byproduct of me doing the splicing, probably unintentionally, although I remember David bringing it to our attention and everybody listening to it and saying, yeah, no, that's fine. And then the coda of the song, like the outro of the song, was spliced on to the end of this assembled solo section.
I